Hello and welcome to Experience Share. It's a Pokemon podcast starring me, Lycanroc, aka Tanner Greenring, and I'm joined as always by my co-host, Philippe. Yes, we've done it before.
Lily.
Joshua.
I think.
Did you say Lilip?
Yeah. You've definitely done that one before.
Lycanroc's new. Yeah, and I could have gone with Tannerynth, but I know I've done that one before, because I suspect I did it alongside Philippe.
That tracks, yeah.
Probably in Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire?
I think so.
Who knows?
Who knows anymore?
We're not Pokemon experts.
I mean,
We're
I haven't even...
casuals.
I'm just going to admit it now. I have Pokemon Violet. I haven't even booted it up yet.
I haven't purchased the last, 3 Pokemon games, because I'm just locked in.
I only got it because there's that special Pikachu that can learn Fly. If you get the game and then use Mystery Gift before February 23rd or something, 2023. Yeah. But I don't think I'm actually going to play it, especially because it seems like it needs to be patched pretty severely.
It will be. It will be. Give it time, baby.
We're going to have to play it in a year or whatever. So...
Hey, it's Tanner. I'm editing the episode. I quickly did the math, and it's actually closer to 2 years, just with the current slate of games.
We got a lot of ground to cover before we get there, I think.
Yeah, well, yeah.
There's anywhere between 2 and 20 games between us and Scarlet Violet. So
yeah.
Let's talk about the show we're doing right now, though, which is Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon.
That's
which
right.
is Gen 7. Yeah. We're in the Alola region. And Josh, before we talk about the continued journeys of Skull Grunt and Parrot Head, Alola to you too, thank you. Mm-hmm. I just want to do some housekeeping because there's some kind of usual segments that have some notable additions this week that I want to talk about.
Okay.
The first is Totem Sticker Tally.
Totem Tally.
I did some backtracking specifically to try to
fishing
catch up.
Spots.
I did go back to, what is that? Heya that's got...
There's a couple.
A sticker that's floating around in a pool.
Yep.
I did that. I got a few more. I think the gap was getting to 4 or something, and I'm at 35 now.
Yeah, I'm at 36, but I'm pretty serious about Totem Sticker Tally. Even though I have no reason to be.
Now I'm in the game, though. I wasn't even in the game.
No, yeah. I have no reason to be because my level 40, my 40 sticker reward is something awful, and I can't even remember what it is now. But yours from Professor Sampson is Alola Marowak. And that leads me to a new segment that I have.
Oh my god.
Since you won't do it, I'm going to have to. It's called Is It a Chill Guy?
Okay.
And
that should be my segment.
You never do it, though, so here I am.
I feel confident about my choices so far.
Well, how do you feel about Alola Marowak for Parrot Head's all-chill Island Vibes team?
And no, we went over this. It has the cursed flame bones.
Listen to this, though.
That's
it's based
not
on
chill.
Samoan fire knife dancers. Those are the guys who have little flaming knives at the ends of ropes, and they spin them around and dance at luau's, and everyone loves it. And it's definitely got chill island vibes.
That's interesting.
I'm not trying to buy you time here, but I looked up the history here.
Are you still running Alola and Marowak?
Oh, you better believe it, buddy.
So why are you even trying to make me think about putting it on my team?
Ooh,
We're both gonna have one?
They could be buddies.
It's a good point. But the vibe doesn't feel chill. And
too mean.
For being chill is all about the vibe, man.
I am trying to build bridges. Here's a Pokemon that could sort of be the bridge between us. Chill and a bad guy.
Sure. Well, I appreciate that. I'll give you a respect.
Let's talk about Mantine surfing for a moment.
There wasn't a new course yet, right?
No. But I want to talk about Mantine surfing by way of another segment I have called Bad Guy Shit. Something you need to know about the way I play Pokemon, Josh, and I've admitted this to you before, and I think I've admitted it to the bug catchers before, but I play via
I think that if I'm editing the episode, I think I always edit it out, but I think this time you're going to make it canon.
Here's the canon announcement. I own this game legally and lawfully, but I play it in on my Steam deck for a number of convenience reasons. One being that the screen is much bigger and it's much nicer to look at. Two being that I can save my backup games in case my game crashes, which your physical cards constantly do. And three being that via emulation I can play the game at double speed, which really cuts down on my choose through some of my grinding time.
That's why I'm always so overwhelmed with your speed. I'm like always thinking like, how are you so far ahead? How did you get all these levels?
I usually play the games through at double speed.
Wow.
Which just helps me just kind of get through some of the battles a little bit quicker.
I mean,
and I'm willing to admit that. I'm a busy man.
Like big time Mayor Cheat. It's also Mayor Cheat. You're like running 2 seasons in a row being Mayor Cheat.
Here's the thing is I was mantine surfing at double speed. So I realized that this week. So I went back and tried my hand at mantine surfing at 1x speed. Killed it. I'm at like 19,500 points. I do not think it's physically possible to get to 20,000 points.
And is 20,000 the number one spot?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let me see what I can do, because I guess now I'm going to have to give it another run as well. Although I
couldn't figure out what my exact score was, but it was like in the 19,000 and hundreds.
Mine is still 18,536 or whatever it was. But I also think, I don't think it's overall. I think each leg has different high scores. So I think we're about to, now that we've done the grand trial here, we're going to get a new leg.
But it's going to have its own set of posted scores.
So the 19,500 or whatever it is for the melee to Heya to whatever, Akala.
I'm going to note that here. Heya.
Okay. So you now have the high score there.
Melee
Fine.
to Heya.
Fine.
Okay, good. And honestly, it feels good to get that stuff off my chest about playing at double speed, because, you should try it sometime, man. It's a blessing.
I only play the legal stuff. I play on the original hardware, which was supposed to be the premise of this podcast, by the way. Some of us have lost track of that along the way.
Some of us lost a few save files with faulty 20-year-old tech, Joshua, if I recall.
Do you remember?
And had to replay all of, I think, Pokemon Silver.
I think so, yeah.
Because his cart failed. And then lost his save file of Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, if you'll recall. And I think you also dropped a cartridge at some point and had to start over an entire game. Didn't you?
Yeah, in the original season, when I was playing Red and we hadn't even published yet, I think it was around like the 6th episode, because we were trying to bank a bunch of them, my file died when I had like, I think 28 hours. And then
that's why when I got
I replayed the entire thing up to that point. But
switched over. I have one more thing I want to talk about, Josh. You said this was a short leg. You texted me like 3 days ago, and you're like, super short leg. We'll have nothing to talk about. So I hadn't even started at that point yet, because my whole family is sick, and my son was home all week. So I was like, okay, I got time. Like, I got time to fuck around. So I'm finally going to do something that I think this gen made easy. And then I went and looked it up, and this is the first gen that made shiny hunting an easier possibility.
I have
via
heard that,
a couple of mechanics. So I went and tried my hand at some shiny hunting, and I'm determined to do it this season, Joshua. Mark my words.
What changed in this generation so that it's easier? Like, what's your experience so far?
Here's the technique. You admitted yourself via our friend Mike Levine that Poliwrath is a bad guy.
That's right.
I'm going to hold you to that, because I'm going to have a Poliwrath on my team, and he's going to be shiny. So here's what I do is, in Brooklet Hill...
What color does it become?
Honestly, I haven't even looked it up yet.
Oh, that's fun.
I want to be surprised.
Okay.
It's probably going to be like green or pink. They always turn green or pink when they go
I'm
shiny.
pretty sure it's green, yeah. I was just looking at the Pokemon that is my sweetie this week, and its shiny is also green.
Yeah. So here's my technique, is Brooklet Hill, where we faced Lana's trial, has all those pools. If you go surfing around in them, there's only 3 Pokemon you're likely to bump into. Surskit, Dewpider, and Poliwag. So your chances of hitting a Poliwag are really good. Mm-hmm. After our trial with Kiawe, the global possibility of SOS battles opened up for all wild Pokemon. Any wild Pokemon during the course of a Pokemon battle can call for an ally.
Right.
And I don't know if you know this, but it increases your chances of encountering a shiny if you encounter the same Pokemon over and over and over and over and over again.
I know that. That's basically all that I know.
So the other thing that we unlocked after Kiwawi's trial is now the Pokemon centers sell adrenaline orbs, which is my item finder of the week.
Okay.
And when you do the only thing that an adrenaline orb does is that when you consume one at the beginning of a battle, the wild Pokemon that you're facing can call for an ally more than once. So you get into this little rhythm where you encounter a Poliwag, do a couple of, in my case, I had an Eevee and I was doing quick attacks to get it down to red. And then I would like sand attacks at it just to lower its evasion. And then wait for it to call an ally, because when it's in red, it'll call an ally. And then the ally comes in, and if it's not shiny, I kill it with a feint attack in one hit.
Sure, okay.
And then I go back to the first one, who's still red and still, like, hurting, and just keep doing non-damaging attacks on it until it calls a new ally. And if that ally's not shiny, I kill it in one hit with a feint attack, and I go back to the original one and do non-damaging moves on it until I run out of PP, and then I run back to the Pokemon Center, which is right outside of Brooklet Hill.
See, that sounds like a clever and smart strategy. This is why I have never done shiny hunting, though. Like, you just said, we're busy men.
You get sort of into this, like, hypnotic rhythm.
I did
it for hours last night, Josh, before I even started the leg, because you're like, it's a short leg, so I was like, great. So I did it for hours last night. You get into this little rhythm, and it's like, I don't know, you can just sit and watch TV while you do it. But I think I probably encountered 200 Poliwags. And
still nothing.
Still nothing.
Doesn't it behoove you to, like, stay in the spot? Because, like, or rather, my understanding is if you leave the area that you have been hunting the Pokemon, so, for example, when you go back to the Pokemon Center, does that not reset the counter?
It does. I suspect it does, but I don't know what else to do about it other than I can raise another Pokemon who's like my shiny hunting Pokemon. Because now
I feel like
Eevee.
you'd want to make the entire team oriented toward doing it.
Yeah, because then I could stay out there all day.
Right.
But I'm just dipping my toes in.
Okay.
Seeing if I can get a lucky strike. But so far I haven't. So maybe you're right. Maybe I need to up my shiny hunting team a little bit.
I mean, I'm an amateur. I'm more of an amateur than you are at shiny hunting, apparently, at this point. I'm just speculating. I think that would be the strategy. But I'm sure the bug catchers will weigh in on this.
It's going to happen. I'm going to have a shiny Poliwrath on my team. And there's nothing any of you can do about it. Nothing any of you can say to discourage me.
Makes me really want that shiny Toucanon now.
You just got to find a spot where you can, like, run into Toucanons really regularly.
Or Pikipeks, yeah.
And then you can do this, like, SOS technique.
I was thinking about it because, first of all, it looks rad, as we know.
Yeah.
But then also, while my Toucanon does have Skill Link, which is like the best ability because it lets you, anytime you use one of those moves that repeats, like Rock Blast, it hits 5 times for sure.
Right.
But I somehow overlooked that its nature is bad. Like it's like lowers its speed and pumps special defense, I think, which sucks. Like,
is Skill Link like a rare ability for those?
It's not as common as whatever. The other one is terrible.
Probably going to be a pretty low chance for you to get a shiny.
It would need to be shiny plus Skill
Link.
Yeah.
Who knows?
So I don't know. But I do want to run Toucanon for the whole game, I'll say now. So at that point, the investment is like probably worth it. But
all right.
I don't know.
Housekeeping out of the way, Joshua. Let's get into the meat of this episode.
18 minutes of housekeeping.
Well, there's a lot to discuss. And honestly, shiny hunting was a big portion of my evening last night when I sat down to play this leg of the journey. It seemed
my
worth
whole
discussing.
evening was singing my little heart out at karaoke.
Where'd you go, Monteros?
We have a friend who, I don't even know if I want to say this because I feel like it'll blow up the spot, but you already said Montero.
Yeah.
Apparently, Chris Hemsworth, Matt Damon, and Jeffrey Wright were all hanging out there on karaoke night this last Thursday.
Whoa, really?
Yes, singing
cool.
Sweet Caroline. They weren't like, one of them wasn't the singer, but it's like they were just all...
They were there, having fun.
Yeah, participating.
It's cool.
It's wild. So, but Montero's is the best karaoke spot in New York, easily, for like a performance venue, you know?
Route 5, nothing to comment on. Dimensional Research Lab, Joshua.
Yeah.
We get a big cutscene Kukui summons us, and his assistant, or not his assistant, sorry, his wife. Tanny's Facty, real quick.
Okay. Okay.
Kukui is straight.
Or at least bisexual. We don't know.
Well, committed.
You thought he was
committed
gay?
Well, I didn't know.
Just because he doesn't wear a shirt?
Hey. I am trying not to be heteronormative here. I don't know what Kukui is. I'm saying now he's confirmed straight or maybe bisexual, but at least is in a committed monogamous relationship.
That lab coat's sort of a cape.
With a woman whose name is Professor Burnett.
What a power couple.
Right. Apparently she's the professorial guide to Pokemon Dream Radar, which I read about. Sounds insane.
Not read about it. What is it?
It's like it's a 3DS game.
Oh, so it's not even a thing in Sun and Moon.
It's its own game.
Wholly separate entity. Okay.
And I thought is it like it's a sleep software for kids maybe? But I don't think it is. It's a game that takes place in the Interdream Zone, which is where Professor Burnett lives.
Oh, of course.
Where she harvests dream orbs from dream clouds. And that's your job too. And I think it's maybe like a walking, it's like a pedometer game. Because I think you build up like dream lasers by walking with your 3DS in your pocket. So I think that's maybe the thrust of this. But I don't know. It's like related to Black and White 2. So it's like complete nonsense, I think.
So we shan't be playing that one as an interstitial.
I think we've already blown past it, like generationally too.
They've
decided they're like, oh, here's this insane Pokemon game that we have. Let's make it canon by introducing Professor Burnett into Pokemon Sun and Moon.
Yeah, get a little bonus advertising campaign.
But she also is the one who tells us about ultra wormholes. So
yeah, so now
things are about to get a little bonkers either way.
Ultra beasts, which you saw in Pokemon Go, this is where they start getting introduced.
Yeah, we see a little.
Cutscene?
We see a tear in the sky.
A brief sidebar on Pokemon Go. Have you encountered Guzzlord yet?
Oh boy, have I.
When Tanner texted me out of the blue earlier this week because I guess Pokemon Go has a new raid
event.
Battle is Guzzlord, and I was like, that sounds like a slur. Like, what are you calling me?
Yeah, they just sent me unprompted. I was like sitting and working, and they're like, "Hey Tanner, now's your chance to catch 5-star Guzzlord." And I was like, I don't think you're allowed to say that to me.
That's what I'm saying. Not their best translation, that one.
Dimensional Research Lab over. Like, we just now learn about the ultra wormholes, but there's nothing to even be done about them yet. We just sort of
are just aware now.
A little taste of them, yeah.
She also, Burnett, mentions that she found Lily and Cosmog washed up on the beach 3 months ago.
Oh, yeah.
That's it. Just casually.
And that's like the complete history of those two.
Oh, yeah. She you're leaving the lab, and then she goes to Parrot Head. She's like, oh, by the way, I found that girl and that extraterrestrial or whatever Pokemon on the beach 3 months ago. Bye.
Bye.
Oh, okay. What? Shouldn't there be an investigation?
We also are introduced to, maybe not at this point, but around here somewhere we're introduced to Team Aether again. They're butting heads with Team Skull. And they're definitely not friendly. So maybe this game just has two bad guys.
Yeah, there was, they were
power vacuum. You know what that sounds like to me? A power vacuum. It sounds like someone needs to rush in and take the reins on Team Skull.
And is Skull Grunt an opportunist, perhaps?
He's a power broker, just like the guy that built your building.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, regular Robert Moses, Skull Grunt.
Yeah.
Well, from there, we can finally go to Diglett's tunnel.
Yeah, now the little red flag is drawing us to Diglett's tunnel. Olivia, who's the Grand Master, what do you call him?
Kahuna?
Kahuna.
She's the Kahuna,
island.
and then they administer the grand trial.
Exactly, yes. So she is the Kahuna of this entire island, and she has spent the entire game so far, just standing in Diglett Cave.
Yeah, she's gatekeeping Diglett's tunnel.
us. But now she invites us to walk through, Joshua, and it's just a little dungeon down here. There's a couple of guys you can fight. There's a whole shitload of Digletts you can fight.
And let me stop you right there.
Yeah.
because let me tell you something. Joshy's got an You Make Me Barf Pokemon of the Week this week.
Wow.
And
Is
it's
it Diglett?
and Dugtrio.
Alolan, I assume you mean?
Alolan, yes.
Wow.
Just,
you don't like them?
No.
Let me go get another look at them. I think at least Alolan...
The hair is
Diglett.
Absolutely just heinous. The Doug Trio is a lot worse.
I think Alolan Diglett at the very least is like harmless, but
Sort of
Alolan Doug
endearing.
Trio is pretty bad.
Doug Trio's a mess.
Except I've noticed what you wrote here in the notes about Alolan Diglett, and it definitely like pushes me over the edge.
Yeah, their ability is tangling hair.
Ugh.
And when a Pokemon attacks it with a contact move, the speed of the attacking Pokemon is decreased by 1 stage.
Ooh, that's a great ability.
It's a really good ability, but I don't like thinking about it.
It is a really gross name.
At all. And I don't know if this happened to you if you were in there long enough, but in Diglett's tunnel, at some point, Doug Trio, in this game, I think it started in Omega Ruby, Alpha Sapphire. Like occasionally there will be overworld Pokemon, just like you can't fight them, but they're just roaming around. There was a Doug Trio that showed up just like at a cliff above me, like doing whatever it does to move with all the wigs, and I was like, I hate this.
Do you think they're wigs?
I mean, that's why I don't like it. It looks like a wig.
Okay. Yeah, you're right. It does look like a wig. We don't actually encounter any Alolan Doug Trios in this cave, right? I didn't actually see any Doug Trios. I just saw...
No, I only saw the overworld, but that's what triggered me.
Ugh.
I just think it's gross. I hate thinking about...
Tangling hair is so gross.
Tangling hair.
Yeah.
And I just think it's like... I mean, I guess it's lazy is my problem.
Yeah.
It's like you literally... I don't have a problem with Diglett or Doug Trio. The, like... Kanto versions.
Yeah.
It's specifically, they were like, oh, we need another Alolan Pokemon. Let's put a fucking wig on Doug Trio. Like, what?
It's gross. You know who else we see in this cave is Archon. You know who they should have given a fucking Alolan version to is Archon.
Now we're talking.
And what's it turn into? Archeops?
Yeah. That would have been cool. Hell of a mon. That when I ran that became one of my favorites. Like top.
I know. I love it. Personally. I've never run it, but I respected yours so much that I think it might be the only good fossil Pokemon.
It's definitely my favorite and really the only one that I have any respect for. Although this is leaping ahead. I know we're going to talk about fossils. I'm debating running a different one this gen.
A different fossil?
Yeah, I just didn't
from Archon.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. You should run Archon.
Talk about it. Can we just talk about it?
You want to go to? You want to jump ahead to the fossils?
No. We can't. Let's.
No.
I mean, I'm done with Diglett's tunnel.
I'm done with Diglett's tunnel too. Except at the very end, Team Skull is here, and you get in a double battle with them. With How? Yeah. His team's looking nice, except for that Brion, of course. But
I have a bone to pick with him because he's kind of running Parrot Head's team almost. He's got a Pikachu. For me, he's got a Noibat.
For me, he is. He's Dartrix, Noibat, Pikachu, and Eevee.
Yeah.
Eevee's the odd man
So
out.
I don't like that. He's supposed to be my friend instead of my rival, and he's also just like copying my team.
Yeah.
That's not chill. Not chill at all.
The battle's quick. Team Skull continues to just be terrible.
Yeah, they've got an Ekans and a Salandit.
Yeah. Make quick work of them. And then we're on to Route 9, Joshua. We're out of the cave. Route 9 is like the outskirts of Konikoni City, so there's plenty to do and see here. Before we make it even very far onto the route, we're stopped by a very handsome man.
Stunningly handsome.
Who's back to being himself. It's Looker, the international man of mystery. I think he's maybe like a spy, a detective. He's coming out of a police station, which I guess maybe confirms that. Well, oddly, he's coming out of a police station, but says he's here on vacation. But seems to be back to his old ways. I remember at the end of Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, we see a like amnesiac Looker, like washed up on the beach.
The timeline, I think that was a retcon. I think we established that his first actual appearance is in Diamond, Pearl, Platinum. And I
think it's specifically in Platinum. I think he's not in Diamond and Pearl.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Yeah. So I think in this remake, they had him For some reason, he washes up. For some reason, they decided that he needed to be in the remake, but his origin story is like Lily's, where he just washes up on the beach.
Yeah. Maybe he's like whatever
Lily
she
Cove
is
or something. I don't remember.
Yeah.
And then some woman like takes him in.
Oh yeah, some like babe.
So we don't
brings him into her like beach hut.
And I think it was I think it was Black and White was his like big debut though. Like he's in Platinum, but he arrests all the seven sages.
Yeah,
that's like his big like.
That's his star.
That's what put him on the map. Yeah,
and that's Black and White.
We don't know
right?
what he's up to here. Yeah, that's right.
We don't. Well, we do. He's on vacation. He says.
Oh yeah. I don't know that Looker is ever really on vacation.
And then he gives you a Thunderstone, which is useless to me.
Useful for me,
zone.
although I still got another like 10 levels on this Pikachu before I'm going to use it. But I've got it, so that's nice.
The only other thing out here is the police station, the Route 9 police station.
Yeah.
The police sprites in this game are pretty funny. They all have like little flashlights, and when you battle them, they go like, and like snap into a pose in a funny way.
Yeah, and
like
shine it on you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You head into the police station and you hear about from one of the guy at the front desk is like, can you check on my partner? He's being really weird. And you go into the back, there's one other policeman in here, and there's one guy in the back like staring in the corner. It's like Blair Witch Project or something.
Yeah. And he's like,
yeah. You get its attention, and it becomes very clear that it's Ditto. And you're engaged in a battle, Joshua. Here's my question for you. Is it a bad guy? Ditto.
I think Ditto is whatever you want it to be, baby.
Does that mean it's bad, or does that mean it's just like programmed to be bad?
Well, it's a cop, so I'd probably say it's bad.
Okay. Compelling.
I think also...
Either way, I caught it, and the other 4 of the Ditto 5.
I mean... I think it's somewhat irrelevant. I really don't expect that you're going to run a Ditto, but I would also say in the bad guy column, in Detective Pikachu, the movie, there's the Ditto that becomes a human.
Oh, yeah.
And it's a bad human.
It's a bad human. Yeah.
I think Ditto's kind of bad.
Cool.
More bad
Who
than
knows?
good.
If I
but
get one of the...
it can be whatever.
If I can breed one of those Dittos that does the automatic transformation when the battle starts... Who knows?
That would be fun.
It's pretty weird.
And I know you've become quite a Ditto stan. In fact, I would call you the 6th member of the Ditto 5.
Yeah, I would too. Thanks to my Pokemon Go character.
Yeah.
Who's not a Ditto.
Definitely not.
Konikoni City. We're here. The home of Olivia. Her trial takes place in some like mud pit just outside of the city. But first we have to get through the city. It's got this like traditional Japanese look. All of the buildings look like old Japanese buildings.
Yeah, it's nice.
Looks great.
Festive.
Yeah. Beautiful. There's a shop here that has nothing worth buying. A clothing shop,
all the
sorry.
Herbs and powders and shit that I never
There's a
buy.
TM shop here though, which has some pretty nice TMs.
I bought Aerial Ace and Bulldoze.
And Joshua, there's a place where you can buy fossils.
Yes.
The Fossil Warehouse.
Did you?
Here's the question for you, Joshua.
Okay.
Is it a bad guy?
Huh. Any of them?
Any of the available fossils in this fossil shop, a bad guy. Let me tell you who's on the menu.
Okay.
After this break.
Fossils.
Thank you for inviting me to talk about fossils. Apparently this is Olivia's shop, where you can buy both evolutionary stones and fossils. By the way, she's the rock gym leader.
Yeah, she seems like
Rock
she's heavily invested in the restaurant in town as well. Like she's sort of got a Konikoni under her thumb.
You know what? I respect that.
Yeah, she seems nice.
Let's talk about these fossils, because you and I actually have 2 different sets of fossils available to us. So let's talk about mine first, and you can tell me if any of these fossils turn into bad guy Pokemon.
Okay. Lay it on me, String Bean.
The Plume fossil, which turns into, as we know, Archon.
No.
Pure goody.
Like too goofy, fun. No.
Yeah. The Dome fossil, which turns into Craniados?
Eileen, no.
Okay.
Rampardos sort of has like a mischievous
Eileen, no,
little
too.
look to it, but I think it's kind of a fun guy.
Yeah, I do too. Let's see. The Sail fossil. Nope.
That is... Oh, certainly not. Amora? No.
Amora.
So innocent.
Next up is the armor fossil, which turns into...
Shieldon is armor. Shieldon, certainly not.
And then the
Bastiodon, I
last
also
one is
think no.
root fossil.
Laleep.
No,
Fialeep?
absolutely not.
No.
No, I just don't think there's any talent here for
the
a bad
only
guy.
ones that I think you could get away with would be... Wait, do you not have access to the dome fossil? Because I think that's yours.
I do. Isn't that Cranidos?
No.
Oh.
That's skull fossil. Dome fossil, Kabuto and Kabutops. Kabutops.
Oh. Yeah,
that
Kabutops
thing
is a bad guy. Do
that's
I want
sinister.
a rock Pokemon, though? No.
Rock water.
Okay. We'll think about it.
I mean, I'm
But it's
thinking
nice to
about
know.
running Tortuga.
So who
which
do you
is
have?
Also
you
rock
have
water.
You have Skull, which is Cranidos. You have Helix, which is Ammonite. You have
And then I've
Jaw,
got
which is
Tyrant. Not chill.
You have Cover,
which
Fossil,
is Tortuga.
and you have Claw Fossil,
Which
is
Anorith. So I guess I'll do Is It a Chill Guy?
oh, okay.
Caracosta. Tortuga.
That's what Tortuga evolves into.
Tortuga, certainly, I think.
Absolutely.
But the evolved form, Caracosta, what do you think about this?
Let me look it up real quick.
Because it's also a big...
I mean, Tortuga, like, no question.
Right.
Caracosta. Ugh, he just looks like a. I don't think so, Josh.
Yeah.
He's got like a flak vest on.
I know.
And like a face shield.
I'm realizing it's like ACAB.
He looks like a SWAT member.
Yeah.
I don't think so,
man. I think you're right. Now that I'm looking at the full Bulbapedia page, I don't think it's going to work. Damn.
I think, is there anyone you could run? Not really.
I don't think so.
I guess, what's Big Anorith called? He's sort of friendly.
That's sort of like a freak show. I don't think so for Parrot Head's team. I think the fossils are out for me as well.
Yeah.
The only
Armaldo.
ones that I think I could shoehorn in are the fossils that you have. Plus, I've run them before. You know, like I've done Amora, I've done Arkin. So
Well, now I'm looking at a picture of Caracosta here, Joshua. This guy's a bad guy. So
Yeah.
maybe we can come to some kind of arrangement.
I don't want those. Although, I mean, God, Arkin would fit in pretty fucking well on Parrot Head's team when you think about it. Mm-hmm. It is an exotic bird.
God, if only they had an Alolan version.
Instead, they
Only
gave it
other
to
thing
fucking
worth
Diglett.
talking about here, Joshua, in Konikoni City is my You Make Me Barf Pokemon of the Week.
In the city.
In the city,
Who is it?
Joshua. There's a boy here who will battle you.
2 episodes in a row, you're talking condescending to these boys running around the islands.
It wasn't a boy, it was an office worker.
Okay.
Named Dougal. He says that he's in love with somebody.
I ran
but doesn't
into
have
this
the
guy.
courage to like go and tell her that he loves her.
Yeah.
So he wants to battle you and see a Z move during the battle, which will give him the strength to go and ask the girl out.
To proclaim his undying love, yeah.
So I thought, I get what this guy's asking. Like, he needs a little encouragement, you know, he's not horny enough. So I went out, I threw Lopunny out there, did a breakneck blitz on him, on his Pokemon, and then got him up to go and ask the girl out. And
fluffed
then
him?
Yeah. And then she said no. But he has one Pokemon,
Friend
and
zoned.
it's my You Make Me Barf Pokemon of the Week. Something I've never realized before, something I've never analyzed before until I've seen it now fully rendered in beautiful 3D. It's Clamperl.
I'm fairly certain Clamperl has made you barf before, but this is like a new dimension of barfing.
I don't think so, because
That's an
Clamperl's-
oversight then. because
Clamperl's
I think
two
it's-
evolutions have both made me barf before, Huntail and Gorbis.
Yeah.
But Clamperl's
You're
been
condemning
fairly
the whole line.
innocuous. But now I get a good look at this thing,
No.
and I realize that the little pearls all around it are actually like little appendages, little fleshy, bulbous appendages.
I've thought this thing was bad the whole time. I'm astounded that it wasn't already in the barf column. In
Well,
fact.
it looks a little like the one clam that I like from Gen 1.
Cloyster?
Yeah. It's got Cloyster
Sure.
vibes to it, and I like
Sure.
Cloyster. But I'm seeing little Clamperl here called
I think
Japan.
Clamperl probably, for the majority of the population, gets a pass because it's sweet little, like the pearl is cute specifically.
But you think the little blue things are pearls too until you get a good look.
Is disgusting.
Yeah, it's just like sitting in a little nest of its own, like gross wieners or like nipples.
Nubs.
So, Clamperl, my You Make Me Barf Pokemon of the Week. Joshua, welcome to Memorial Hill. Yes, this island has a cemetery too. I guess they were just out of ideas.
Yeah. A robust cemetery too.
Yeah.
I ran into Joshy's Sweetie here. I don't think it's new territory, but it's Gentleman Smith's Jolteon.
Oh, certainly not a surprise. Might be new. Might be the first time it's been inducted, but it's like
it could be.
It's like when someone is like gets a like an honorary lifetime induction into like the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame or whatever. You know,
I've
like of course
complimented Jolteon countless times in this show, but now we're going to officially move it from neutral to Sweetie. I think this is the first time I'm seeing it in full 3D also. So I'm very impressed.
Yeah.
It just works. It's my favorite evolution. I think it's got sass.
Is it I think it's probably my favorite evolution.
Good one too. And this is the one that its shiny becomes like a Mountain Dew style green.
Cool.
That I don't think I love it. I think the yellow is probably better, but it's kind of cool. It's a little funky. It looks really good in Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee, which makes me think.
Well, save it.
Yeah, I might have.
I think those are the games that make shiny hunting the easiest. By the way,
yeah, you mentioned
from
that.
what I read.
That would be fun. But that's all I got.
On our way out to the ruins of life, which exist here on Akala Island. Mm-hmm. Is that what it's called? Yeah.
Yeah, it's Akala.
On the way out, we encounter a woman who is definitely the sort of counter to Gladion. So the sort of Gladion's other half stops us, accosts us on the way out of Konikoni City. Her name is Plumeria, and she is at least a little bit more self-aware of all of Team Skull's problems. She's like, Team Skull's a joke. Everyone hates us. Everyone thinks we suck. But
she's not aware of fashion, as far as I'm concerned, with her terrible, like, bug-eyed glasses.
No, that's not Plumeria.
Isn't it?
No, that's someone from Aether. That's Aether Foundation. Plumeria looks just like Gladion. She's like this, like,
oh shit, you're right. I leaped
Harley Quinn, like
yeah.
But she sits in like she's like I'm with Team Skull and Team Skull sucks, and it's like, come on, people, like. I don't know if I'm on the right side of history with this metaphor, but I feel like Elon Musk here, like, trying to rein this team in, trying to steer this ship in the right direction.
Jesus. So you're going to take control of Team Skull and then you're just going to clean house?
Hammer it into shape, yeah.
You're either with me or you're against me. And then 75%
everyone
of people are against him.
10th floor by 10 p.m. today. We're having a big meeting. So I destroyed her. She has like joke Pokemon.
I don't like her fashion sense either, to be honest.
And then the way is cleared for us to enter the ruins of life, Joshua, which is where we expect to see some grand stage where we'll face off against Olivia in pitched battle. But no, she doesn't even invite us in.
It's just
she's like the Guardian Pokemon's in there and you're not allowed in there.
A clearing in the middle of nowhere.
She's like, here's some dirt we can battle in. Like literally, like you're in like a dirt patch. She's like, let's just battle here. It's like, aren't you the fucking kahuna?
Yeah. Mealy, like we had a big show. It was like a party.
Where's the spectacle?
What the fuck?
You know?
What am I in this game for? Parrot Head is trying to like, you know.
And she's sort of she's like a fashion. She's like like posh, you know?
Yeah.
Like her persona is she's in like a cocktail dress and she's posh. I hang out in a cave and I'm going to fight you in the dirt. Here's my gross Pokemon.
Yeah, it is gross.
So let's talk about our teams that we brought in to fight Olivia in a level check.
Yeah.
Parrot Head, what you working with?
I caught a couple of new Mon that I'm going to be building up, but I do not have any big changes to announce at the moment.
All right, run us through.
Hoot, Dartrix, level 33. Tango, Toucanon, level 30. Fruitcakes, Noibat, level 31. Cheeseburger, Snorlax, level 30. Jimmy, Pikachu, level 32. Joe Merchant, Fletchinder, level 29.
Thanks. Took the opportunity to eat another graham cracker. Looking good. Skull Grunt, all bad guys. Mabel, Alola Marowak, level 35. Mwah, 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 mwah. Colress, Chargabug, level 31, going in the box until this thing gets a little closer to the magnetic field in wherever that is. Blush Mountain.
Long way to go.
Giovanni,
which is what I'm thinking with my Noibat also. I might swap it out for a little bit.
Giovanni Incineroar, level 34.
Whoa.
You know what I
Wait, it evolves at 34, so I'm only one level off? I should have done that.
You know what I realized about Incineroar? Is he's called the heel Pokemon, and I realized that he's supposed to be a bad guy wrestler. He's like the Hulk Hogan, he's like a wrestler who's a bad guy. That's what a heel is in the wrestling world. So this guy was like born to be on the bad guy team.
I mean, I think that was kind of clear to me also.
Yeah.
Even without knowing that fact.
Commander Mars, Lopunny, level 33. Mayor Sleep, Shiinotic, level 31.
Yeah. Hate that fucker.
And welcome to the team, Xerosic. You remember Xerosic? He was that like disgusting,
the mad scientist, with bad
from
red
Team Galactic.
goggles. Yeah,
or Team Flare.
Yeah, Team Flare, who lives like 30 miles underground.
Yeah,
and wanted to blow up the world. Yeah,
level 30. Let's talk about Umbreon's journey onto my team because she started as Eevee, or he started as Eevee and was my shiny hunter because it knew a combination of moves that could keep me in a shiny battle, an SOS battle for a long time. And then eventually just slowly leveled up into Umbreon, who also had a lot of good moves for shiny hunting. So it's a complete accident that I have a Umbreon on my team, but I do, and it's kind of cool.
Well, also Umbreon was the cleanest choice, I think, for bad guy.
Oh yeah. It was honestly pure luck that it leveled up at probably like midnight last night. So I think that's all it takes is happiness and time of day.
You think you're going to keep it or only use it for shiny hunting?
I don't know. Kind of nice. Kind of good Pokemon.
Yeah.
I've run one before. I can't remember what gen it was. Maybe gen 2.
You will have dark covered with Incineroar, though. So
yeah, true.
Something to think about.
That's my whole team. I had absolutely zero issue with Olivia. She has a Anorith, a Lileep, and a Lycanroc, all rock type.
I had one issue.
Tell me.
Why does Anorith float? Did you notice this?
Anorith's sprite was so troubling because it looks like, yes, it's floating, and it's little like feathers or whatever.
Yeah, they are
sort of like
it like
undulating.
Some sort of like Hayao Miyazaki style. Like
it looks as though it's supposed to be microscopic. And is it supposed to be microscopic?
No, it's 2 feet 4 inches long.
Well, then how is it ambulating?
But
also, its sprite also makes it look like the two little claws in the front.
27.6 pounds.
It makes it look like the two little claws in the front were all that was holding it up when it was in the battle sprite.
Yeah, it's very confusing. I've never thought about it. I mean, to me, it always seemed basically like a land flounder kind of a thing. Like it's just flat on the ground.
I guess, you know what? I'm looking at the black and white sprites. I'm looking at
they
every animated
like feathers.
Sprite for this has them like slowly floating and their feathers undulating.
Oh, you're right. You know what? It reminds me why I said Hayao Miyazaki, our favorite film, Nausicaa, the Valley of the Wind. It looks like one of those big mutant bugs in the jungle. Yeah. Ooh.
But either way,
shiny is also an improvement.
Whoa, are you thinking about this?
What is it?
Because it's another fossil that's available.
It's not, but it's not chill. I don't think there's any way. Armaldo, I guess, is sort of a dum-dum.
Armaldo is. He's kind of a big, lovable bug. Ooh.
But it's based on
brine shrimp.
Brine shrimp. So why would it?
Which is sea monkeys
floating.
Sea monkeys float.
Yeah, but underwater, and it's not water type. I don't know. I mean,
I don't know
either. You know,
her whole team sucks.
I don't really have any problems with it, but I'm very confused, and her team does suck.
and I beat them very quickly.
Oh, I also will note the Lycan Rock has the Rockium Z, and it uses Continental Crush, and I had Noibat facing it. So Noibat on the screen is like, a millimeter basically. And so Continental Crush is just this giant entire screen, like boulder that comes down like an asteroid. It's flattened it. I was like very satisfied. And of course, Noibat just decimated, dead.
Oh, but yeah. I think he also dropped a Continental Crush on whoever I had out at the time. But I think it was Shinotic. I had Shinotic in and Continental Crush, just like that must just be a one-hit KO move. Like,
it's really good. Although I'm looking at the fandom walkthrough here, and Lycan Rock has 2 moves. It just doesn't even have 4. Like, what? What are you talking about? Why wouldn't it have 4 moves?
It just needs to drop that.
It only has Bite and Rock Tomb. Yeah,
I guess. But Continental Crush is the Rock Tomb Z move. She gives you a bunch of heart scales, you get your Rockium Z, and you're out of here.
Out of here.
And we're out of here, because that's the leg.
That's it.
Anything else you want to talk about?
Did I?
Are you going to get on my level?
What do you mean?
Mantine surfing?
Oh, of course, yeah. Frankly, I'm flying to London tomorrow. That's a 6-hour and 50-minute flight. I got plenty of time for surfing.
Maybe you should go do some toucan and shiny hunting, too, while you're at it.
I'll think about it.
All right, Joshua, I think that's it for us this week. Bug catchers, thank you for joining us. Joshua, thank you for joining me. Please do rate and review the show on Apple Podcasts, and do follow the show anywhere that you follow podcasts, and do follow us at EXPSharePod on Twitter and Instagram.
And check out the subreddit, reddit.com/r/bugcatchers, and buy some merch at EXPSharePod.com.
Next week, we will be headed to... Actually, next week, I think we have no landmark we're headed to. I think we're going to meet the Ultra Beasts.
Oh.
That's our milestone.
Oh, wow.
So we'll probably be headed into some Ultra Wormholes to face off against some Buzzswoles and Guzzlords. Oh.
Yes. Encounter with the mysterious Ultra Beast.
Let's look forward to that. I can't wait to see which of these Ultra Beasts are bad guys and which aren't. They all seem like, frankly, with names like Buzzswole and Guzzlord, seems pretty black and white to me. Joshua, bug catchers, goodbye.
Alola. And smell you later.
Sorry, I put a big graham cracker in my mouth right before I came down.
That's not recording best practices.
You're telling me.